One, two, three. Welcome everybody to Grow Mastermind Group. We are a group of entrepreneurs here whose mission it is to vision and purpose to encourage other entrepreneurs to fulfill, unleash, and discover their potential. Where I meet every single Sunday at 8 p.m. and we discuss different topics like house seeds or things that every single entrepreneur or person that needs to grow, they will be inspired from. We also have a lot of, I will say, beautiful, uh, amazing, inspirational stories. So if you're not tuning in with our group, please do so. Um, Tonight we have something special. Tonight is not going to be our regular 8 o'clock. I think it's a little bit earlier, 2 hours early, 6 o'clock. And we have an event tailored special to crush 21. Why to crush 21? Each of us have that dream to make a better year, to grow, to do better. And every single of you deserve to have one of the best years and best outcome from that year. And for that reason, we thought we're going to put some wonderful, I will say, amazing, well put together, step by step, how to crush it, how to get the best of you, how to put your goals together, how to create a vision, how to put your mindset, how to put your goals, how to go over your time management, your accountability, your uh, overall, I will say, like you see in this beautiful slide that runs over me, above me, I'll say, to take control over your life. And of course, to put some energy in that one, because without to put the energy in what you have and to really wish it, really want it, it's going to be very hard to achieve it. This being said,
one last thing we got to do. If you want to take control, if you want to get your mindset right, you want to get the goals right, you want to know how to set the goals. Okay. If you want to get your vision right, if you want to manage time, the one last important thing we need. Oh my God. Now, I hope the guy's ready. I really, really hope, because the last thing you need is something that I wish I had more right now, but I hope he's getting ready. The one person to take on energy is no other but Jeff, the entrepreneur. That guy is going to blow your mind, going to tell everything about the energy that you need to crush 21. Thank you so much. I'm going to post a link right now for the calls. I hope to see you there. Jeff, let's rock it.
Awesome. Wow. Thank you. I hope everybody can hear me okay. This has been an amazing event, Brand X. Emmanuel, that was amazing. I actually have a lot of people in here from the morning show saying, man, that Emmanuel guy's fire. Everybody's been fire. I have been writing out notes as I've been working in the background. So I appreciate everything, dude, that everybody's been doing today. This has been phenomenal. So, dude, sure, trust me, so much value from this. And actually, someone just DM'd me and said, my life is changing on this Zoom. So I just want to say, first of all, I want to ask everybody how they are. This is how I started. I used to be a teacher. I'm going to get into some slides that my assistant didn't make, I made. So if you count the most misspellings in them, that's because I made them pretty quickly, but it'll keep me kind of focused with the energy. But I want to hear how everybody's doing on a scale of 1 to 10 in the chat. 10 being great, and 1 being like, oh man, I'm just getting through it, because we all are at different parts in our life. So I'd like to see exactly where we are. I'm a 10 after hearing everybody. Brand X, Christian on time, everybody that we had on here. Peter, thank you so much for doing this and put it on. So without further ado, I'm going to actually share my screen if you can make me host, because I want to, slides keep me focused and keep me on point. That's how I can kind of not waste too much of your time here with this value. So I see an 11 in here. Yeah, I'm an 11 right now. I'm going to kind of try and slow down my clock as I talk about energy, just to keep it simple. And clear is better than clever. So as soon as he lets, yeah, there we go. We share my screen. So I'm going to go into here and we'll go slideshow. I don't know about you guys, and I do a monthly web every month. I was working with I know what someone told me once, don't name drop so much, and I know we were all fighting over who has Richie Dolan's number the other day. as we were planning for this. So I'm not going to try and name drop of anything. I've been very blessed to be at this level where I'm at right now, where I just for right now, man, I'm still even in shock. A lot of stuff going on. So let's see if I can actually do this here. Activate slideshow. Usually I have, there we go, from beginning. All right, so this is it. So one thing that always keeps me calm every day, that's one of my goals, is sunsets. I don't know if anybody likes sunsets or anything in life, but sun will actually give you natural energy. And I'm not going to get so much into that. I'm actually going to give the one hack that gives me so much energy going forward. Let me see if I can do full screen here. Hang on, let's see this. So now, if everybody could turn their cameras on too, as many people can, because I would like seeing as many faces that we can here. So maybe that'll be. All right. All right. Oops, that's not going to work. Over here. There we go. One day I'll have someone do all this stuff for me. On here, design. All right, so people, yeah,
Jeff, on top of the thing on the slide, right where it says the second button. Boom. Yep.
All right, Crush 21, when energy levels are low. I'm not really going to read from the slides, but I'm going to basically go. When COVID hit for everybody, and I'm sure I want to hear, he said before, I kind of got intel, it did affect everybody. I saw a lot of yes in the chat when Emanuel asked, hey, did COVID affect you? I know that I slept in late more often than I ever did when I first didn't have to go to work then. And I had late nights working from home. A lot of people that I've coached just recently, I've coached over hundreds of people now. There'll be in thousands by 2021 now, because I'm going full-time into coaching and consulting. But I was stuck home eating more ice cream. I'll be totally honest about that. Not going out to eating junk food, not having to go to the gym. I felt like I could get away with more. I'd eat a whole carton of ice cream sometimes, right? So have you guys ever felt tired as of late? If you have, this is the one thing. When people say, Jeff, how do you get the energy? Or are you just born that way? I'm going to give you the one secret on why I have energy and how I've gotten a lot done. And what I've done, oh yeah, this is it. I'm going to show you what it takes to keep your energy level up in life without having using things like caffeine, all right? And you can still use caffeine. So let's see if I can pull up the chat here as I have you guys on the side. I got to reduce the view to see all this here. All right, so always at life, always monitor what your level's at, whether you're at a 10 or 11. Right now, I'm probably at a 9, right? And always track it. And the reason why you want to do that is because you want to actually just gauge on how much you're willing mindset to take on everything. I know we had someone speak on mindset, which is very important. I'm putting one of the things that keeps me fulfilled. Anytime I see people make money, even though right now money is really tough for me. I'm not even going to put on the next slide that I'm a real estate investor because none of my tenants are paying this month. And I'm basically taking the money, I'm helping coach people to keep my real estate unit. And that's being as transparent as possible. So there was a guy I helped make 10K. That got my energy level up. Helping people make more money is exactly what I do. And I'm accountable on helping them do it any way possible I can. And because of that, you'll see I was just at an event speaking in Vegas. And I said, Jeff, the stuff you did was just phenomenal. The tactics and all the stuff, the God-given talent that I was able to help people make a lot of money for it. So I booked a session just recently for $1,250 for a 90-minute session with one guy, and that was the guy that you saw who made 10K in a day. This is what gets my energy level up. I feel like it's my God-given purpose to do this. I'm a paid speaker at many events. I'm doing this obviously just because I enjoy doing it. With all these guys, Peter, I'm a huge fan of. I'm a huge fan of. I was able to connect with Brand X more on IG Live the other day on his. So follow him at Brand X Journey. And I knew a little bit, but just actually learning more and getting blessed by Emanuel and doing more of these events, I just keep leveling up the connection. So I'm going to encourage you all to come to events like this and tell a friend with you. I'm going to show you exactly how. So this is all stuff I've done with the energy level I have in probably about a mass 4 years. I'm going to explain why. Author of an Best Instagram Guide Over book. I have a new book coming out January 17th. I'm a podcast host of the Make More Money podcast where Dana White's going to be on and Mark Cuban and a lot of cool people like that. That's just who's going to be on. I do a morning show every Monday through Friday, The Wealthy Wake Up, every morning at 6 a.m. We just got another sponsor on. I was actually securing that deal then. They're going to give us, starting in late January, $100 that we're going to give away back to the listeners, teaching them about money. So this is, it's my gift to be I can never say the word, a philanthropist, give out money. Right now, I'm kind of like really just being an entrepreneur, really just trying to make it happen. But I'm a YouTuber with 1K subs, where as soon as there's any watch time, you watch it, I will start getting revenue and getting paid. I was featured on Amazon Prime Video speaking on a show called Speak Up that tells kind of my whole story on dreams, belief, and action. Featured in Yahoo Finance, that was a blessing. I didn't even ask for that. Over thousands in sales for a local door and window construction company. And now we're doing it online. I've done a lot online. And I've mentored by Grant Cardone, Lewis Howes, JC Tenati, Andy Dietz, the current guy I do monthly webinars with. He's phenomenal. He teaches me how to really do automation. Well, I have assistants normally working for me, but not this weekend because it's Christmas weekend. So that's maybe a little, made my energy level a little low. But I built a team of funnels and automation, and I actually have coached this kid for TRM Digital. I have a very successful funnel team. So if you see my funnels are done by him, and it's life-giving to see a kid in Mexico who really didn't have much be able to give jobs to people around. And it's what fulfills me. And I'm a former quarterback, as you see there on the left, lifeguard when someone told me I couldn't, which I might tell you that later, a middle school and high school teacher. So I'm going to teach you today. And I can teach so many different levels, so I'm going to keep us focused on energy. If I'm going too fast, just say yes to me, because my mind goes fast, and usually I stay around. That's why I like Grant so much, because he always kept fast. All right? If I need to slow down, I'll try. I said I'd go slower, so there was just a lot there, and I've done more. All right, guys, so for those who don't know about me, these are my dreams that keep me awake right here. This is my why. I'm going to say this really 4 years ago, my older brother, Jay, who you see there on the left, he married a Playboy model. She left him for a multimillionaire. I moved to Connecticut, where I am right now. Long story short, he wound up, I went to wake him up to get a haircut. He wound up passing away on drugs, fentanyl. After that moment, I was teaching at a behavioral teacher, and one of my students committed suicide. And one of the head teacher girls, Jackie, who I used to hook up with, came to console me, and HR said if I talked to her, I'd be fired. And I said, well, fire me now. I don't care if I live. And long story short, they put me into therapy, and I started talking to therapy girl as fast as I'm talking now. And she goes, you know, Jeff, you have ADD, OCD, go get medicated. And, I used to see students that would benefit from medication. So I figured, you know what? Fine, med me up. I went home to my dad. My dad, always good advice, gave me a book, Power of Subconscious Mind, and showed me a video on YouTube. The video on YouTube was by the guy named Grant Cardone. I went home that day. I'm a Jesus guy. I prayed, God, I don't care if I wake up. I searched the words Grant Cardone depression. And that video, if you've never seen it, you're ever depressed, watch that video. It's magical. It spoke right to me. It changed my life. I got out of bed and I wrote, I'm going to build the biggest coffee shop music studio ever called Kokomo J's. Me and my brother also wrote down a goal because, she left for multimillionaire, makes $77 million. December 23rd, 2023, that is going to happen. It doesn't matter if anybody believes it. I believe it. I've done a lot of different things chasing money, and now chasing the purpose of being fulfilled is when I'm actually starting to help other people make more money and be in there. So it's really inspiring 77 million people along the journey. But that's Kokomo J's. That's the journey. That's the dream. It's almost like Gary Vee and the Jets. I want to build that one day. It's like Starbucks everywhere. I had the pleasure of talking to Howard Schultz and other people on how to do it. That's why I bought some real estate, invested in software, and things I've done to this point. My why is, so in life, I remember hearing all these stories with people having them, being like, man, they have this great why, they have this great rags to riches story. During that journey, I never had that. And I always just, I always had people tell me I couldn't do stuff, call me retarded when I want to play football. And I kind of ignored some of that stuff because, I am different than most, right? But everybody, no matter what you're at, it's okay to be different. And I didn't know that for a while. I was trying to blend in and fit in, got a 9-to-5 job, went to be a teacher, went to school just to play football. And it wasn't until my older brother wrote down these goals that you can see here. This is why I have the morning wake-up show. I was actually on with one of my coaches and mentors, and he did me the 7 whys. I do this with some of my clients. I asked them 7 whys to find out what they truly want. He said, Jeff, you have Kokomo J's, you have 77 million, what would you do? And I said, you know, I would do a radio talk show in the music studio in the morning to inspire people. I said I would do that and try and get on Sirius Radio and everything like that. And so then he said, then why don't you do it now? And that's what's gotten me up and early, doing it with my brothers, the co-host. It's called The Wealthy Wake Up. And so I'm just doing it right now. Like, act as if you're already there. It gets me up in the morning. I'm going to be doing it live on Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope. And we're going to be doing that. Regain my family. One thing that's important is regaining your family when they actually support you. A lot of your family won't buy from you. Just so you know, any entrepreneurs, I know this because, you know, I just been coaching. I'm helping out. I don't hope my aunt's not on. I help her out all the time. And yeah, as I'm losing everything. And then Ona RDRA, I'm probably going to use, I'm not a sports car guy. I'm really not. Rich Mullins was the guy who took about poverty. I always felt like I could do that. It's actually uncomfortable for me to wear the shirts. I'm more of a hoodie and a backwards hat guy. But you got to be uncomfortable. I'm going to talk about that, how that gives energy later on. And own my own real estate coffee shop music studio. So that's what drives me. Right now I get to, and my brother, I just helped to, he works harder than anybody. I've had it very easy in life. My younger brothers work so harder than anybody else. So my goal is to get him to 6 figures by March. And I'm going to do it with his financial firm called Changing Lives Financial. So the goal is 20 million families become financially free in 10 years. It's actually gotten me better at keeping my books. And it's actually gotten me better. I was always great at making money my whole life, but I'd spent on the wrong things, which I'll explain a little bit later on. And I'm really good at helping people make money. Like, that's it. So where does your energy go? So a lot of things I do for a lot of my clients, and this is easy. You don't need to do this to become a client. This is one of the sheets we have here. I have them track their 15 minutes in intervals, right? And circle things that don't inspire you towards your movement. I do this anytime I feel like I have an unproductive day. I hold myself accountable to do this. If you DM me at Jeff the Entrepreneur, I'll have my assistant Ice send you one of those forms just for being here if you want to take advantage and do that. It's just a nice little, I want to give you guys action steps. I don't want you to sit here and talk. I want to give you stuff that you can actually take action to actually help you kind of just change your whole energy thing. So you're not tired at all in 2021. You have tactics that you can remember. I'm going to give you one thing at the end, or if you forget anything else, you remember that. All right, so energy in all your life. So literally, we have energy in whatever we do, right? But if you just have energy just when you're going to the gym, but you don't have it with your finances or spiritual or family or recreational, right? These are all different levels of energy that you can have. I'm going to use tactical steps on each one on a few things you can do and challenges that will help you get more energy physically, get more energy with your wealth and your cash flow, get more energy spiritually, get more energy with your family, and cover all those. But everyone makes their own path in this world, all right? Everyone does, but a lot of them follow the path that they don't feel pulled to. So my perfect client that I coach is someone who feels like they have another path, but they feel like they just can't do it and they need money to get there. Those are the people that I'm helping transcend, and it's my life purpose by far. I'll probably always be doing that out of everything. And I was actually talking with my software investor, Ahmad, who I have equity in today. We were having a call, and he's like, you know, Jeff, I know he makes like 10 grand a month on affiliate marketing. He goes, you know, but it's not, he sent me $100 too, true story. Oh, yeah, but he's a great dude. I love working with him, and we're going to figure that out too. We do a lead generation software that works for a time, but he goes, you know, if it fills, you just go with it. So we're coming out with a course called the Changing Lives Entourage on Lightspeed with Brad Lee. That's going to probably come out in March. That I've been working on. That's where you have the bright lights in that. But does anybody know the 5 currencies? So not to really totally speak to you, I want to, Harry, what are different ways, and I'll come down here, different ways for you guys to, I want to put in the chat, or you can come off thing and say, what are the currencies you know? We all know the one, right? But there's 4 other ones besides it. Time, yeah, time can be considered a currency. Time is actually more important than any of these currencies because I can't get this time back, all right? So time we're going to put on the side because of that. I'm just going to go into it because that actually didn't mean relationships. That is one, yep, that is one. And I'm going to show you how you can do it. What's that? Love, yep, believe. All right, so I'm going to show you the ones that you can shift. Let me go back to my screen here. And we're going to do this. So the 5 currencies are, money is one. We all know the money, right? Money is something we trade when you have it down there. Barter is something when, hey, you do this for me, I'll do it for you, right? As an entrepreneur, you always want to buy low and sell high. That's what you do with money. Barter is when I have a service, right? And maybe you have a service and we barter. Relationships is something that you know, which someone said in there before. I'm trying to think what else we got in the chat here. kind of hard to see both of them at the same time. Let me put this up here. Knowledge is one that's why everybody's here right now, is the knowledge and fear on branding, on vision, on goals, right? We want that knowledge all the time, right? And energy is one that doesn't really cost you anything. If you're able to channel, no matter who you are, I don't care if you have a low pulse or you just don't speak well, you can channel certain energy in different way. I've been able to bring it out of so many different people, and it's really rewarding. But the problem is, the problem is that we have negative programming. And we all know this. Most of our mind is negative all the time. What you're listening to, who you surround yourself with, even what they eat, you'll start eating what they eat. You know, if you live in a household and they're cooking the wrong stuff, you're going to eat the wrong stuff, right? What they do, where they are, energy comes from what you surround yourself with. So people always ask, how do you have much energy? I surround myself with people who have energy, or I feed my mind with energy all the time. I was actually going to come in with playing the Rocky theme, because I listen to that stuff when I'm at the gym, or I listen to only high energy music. I very rarely listen to music. I cut out all music, because most music leads to dancing, and dancing leads to me finding a girl and cuddling and gets me off my dreams. So like, and I love dancing and everything, but there's a time and place, and it kind of gets me away from my energy there. And that's a true story. I say it to be funny, but it is true. So I want you guys to write this part down. If I am comfortable, I'm doing it wrong. So part of the reason why I'm here today on a bigger camera with a white background and a collared shirt, this is uncomfortable for me to do it standing up. I could be sitting down doing it, but I'm challenging myself every single second. This is how I've gotten to where I've gotten to with all the risks I've taken, is by being comfortable, right? So whatever you do in life, always challenge yourself to get outside your comfort. Our human nature, we're like, it's weird. We like try and like always comfort ourselves and like keep us in like a spot where we can just be like just don't want to like do anything. Like even like whenever you get scared of something, you know, it kind of keeps you in that comfort zone. So, and this is how I do it with energy here. So physical. So this is back when I was in better shape, when I was chasing girls and I was going to the beach actually right there, right? And what I did was I did this, the How diet. It was the health over wealth diet. I actually sold it. This is about 3 years ago on Facebook, and I got in trouble for doing it because I took it after Dr. Hyman's thing. But it was, it basically is this simple. You eat what God made and not what man made. So anything, any sugars, you want to cut out sugars and stuff. We're not going to go into all of it, but just get on a diet, pick a diet. You can Google, there's Google out there, and just start it, right? And start it for about 90 days. 90 days is the magical thing where when you make a commitment for 90 days in anything in life, like I'm doing right now, I'm making a 90-day commitment to have Changing Lives Entourage. In 90 days, I'm going to have certifications where people are going to be able to coach under the Changing Lives name, and I'm going to sell a certification to it, and they can have other clients have the success I have. But and then a workout plan. I have a 5-minute workout routine I do every single day, no matter what. And it's called the Health Over Wealth workout plan that we do. We talked about. I give it to a lot of the thing, but these are on the right side. You're going to see in Not the Bold. These are kind of the things that you can challenge yourself to get energy from, and it starts by being uncomfortable. So I was talking to a guy the other day, and he's like, "Man, I need money. Jeff, you send me some money. I need money." I'm like, "Dude, I got a big 2019 tax bill that I wasn't really planning for because I was investing in software." And he goes, "Well," and I have the heart, but I said, "Well, how early do you wake up?" He's like, "I don't know, like 10 a.m." And I'm like, "Dude, you're waking up at 10 a.m." I was like, "You can wake up a little earlier." So that's one thing you do. My brother wakes up at 5 a.m. Go to the gym. Gym is never comfortable, right? Out there aside. Meeting new people. People are energy. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later on. And you can come to events like this. Everybody here has they're growth minded. They want a different energy. This is why I'm going to the Driven Boot Camp out in Beverly Hills in February. This is why I'm going to 10X down in Miami, right? Because I feed off the energy from people. And do more of your own thing. Talk to more people. More people have energy. More people have it there. Like, and you, once you get strong with your energy, I'll show you how you can transform to them. You can get energy bringing it off them, which is what I do. And then no music. I do books on tape, and I you can check out any YouTube channel. My YouTube channel always has positive stuff going on there. So then one energy hack is this. So look at this picture here. So these two dudes, Dana White and Grant Cardone, they work out, right? They look pretty physical, right? The guy who's over begging with a sign, believe it or not, he's comfortable. He has a little sign, he has a little coat. Actually, there's one of my first YouTube videos was 10 things you do to help a homeless man. I actually helped him. I've been coaching for my life. I helped him get off the streets, get a job. He wound up getting back on drugs. His mind wasn't right. So I learned how to qualify people a little bit better, coached the mindset before too. But he was comfortable in what he did. It was so hard for him to get outside his comfort zone, right? And you look over on these guys, we're going to talk about something different. I'm going to go to this picture later on and say the one thing that you're going to want to know for energy right in there. All right, so this is the challenge that I challenge you guys to do as the chat. You guys put something, stay uncomfortable to stay successful. Yeah, that's right. So anything you do for 31 days. So like I used to drink energy drinks all the time for 31 days, all the time. They own your life. If you do anything for 31 days, it'll own your life. This is the Better Life Challenge I did a while ago. So if you drink coffee for 30 days or anything, make a plan to break it so it doesn't own your life and you're in control of your own life. And create or find a 90-day plan of anything. We have a 90-day plan we use that I use continuously with physical and health that I usually do for a lot of my clients. So wealth. So this guy's Scott Simons. This guy's a Cardinal Capital investor. He owns a couple of dealerships. He's a good guy. So you want to be around people who are wealth in mindset and wealth in there. There's a whole quote, the 5 bank accounts you surround yourself with is where you'll be, and the people. And it's very true. So, but the tips and action tips you can take is watch what it goes into your account daily. This is nothing new. If you know Grant Cardone, he says, look at your money daily. And find a skill in life that can add you to the marketplace. One of the things I am very well at doing is to find someone's skill to fund their passion in life. Sometimes you don't do what you love right away. Like I did a lot of knocking on doors before I started becoming a high ticket coach to where I'm at, where it's actually, I'm just even blessed to be at this point. But you look at your life and everyone as a business. So if your life's a business, you're going to look at like what comes in and what goes out, what you can offer. Because if you only want a certain amount of money, you really are selfish because you only want to take care of yourself. Like it kills me that I don't have the enough, like that my tenants aren't paying right now, that I can't buy them gift cards for Christmas. You know what I mean? Like that's what I want to do, right? And I'm going to do that going forward. And the customer's always right. So I learned this, even in life, if you have a girlfriend or whoever you're at, man, always agree, man. No matter what, if you don't agree right away. So if you're yourself as a business and you look at them as a customer and you always agree to them, then before you present your case and do this challenge. This comes from Ty Lopez. My dad told me it'd be great when you can learn from people you don't like. And me and Ty, I just never liked him a lot for certain reasons. But I've grown past that. It's all in growth. But 66% around are people who are wealthy in mindset and assets. You want to be around 66% all the time. And let's say you're saying, hey Jeff, I don't know anybody. I don't have JC Tanati, your multimillionaire mentor that you hang around, right? You can put stuff on your ears. I have the Driven Boot Camp, where I was listening to Driven 1 today. I heard Rondi Lambert. If you don't know who the guy is, the dude was left homeless at 15, left on the streets, and he made a decision right then. He was left on the streets, homeless, with no money in his account. He's this Fortress credit guy. He owns the credit thing. It's a crazy story, and people would walk by and nobody stopped to pick him up. And there's something I want to hear in the chat. You guys think people care or people don't care? Because he could have made that decision right there in life, Rondi Lambert, and said people don't care, and been very negative, and then started drinking alcohol and making that whole decision. And people do that all the time. They don't think people care, right? He made the decision, I'm going to become a multimillionaire. I'm never going to have a kid sit on the street again. I'm never going to walk. I'm always going to help him. I'm going to be able to help him. And he did. He's a multimillionaire. He's Rondi Lambert. He works in my brother's business. But like those stories are powerful. And that's the stuff that you can 66% put in your mind. That's what I heard. That's what I woke up to this morning before church. And then 33% around the people you help. I'm doing a new thing where I'm taking 5 people on that I'm going to coach who just, I remember when I was where they were at, and just helping them. And then 1% is yourself. And I know this sounds crazy. People argue with it, but your mind is negative. If you're not putting something in your mind, you're going to start thinking negative thoughts. You want to meditate. There's a Wim Hof meditation I do. It's a breathing exercise. It's great. But if you're doing 66% around the right people and then 33% around helping other people, this is what's going to naturally give you the energy. Because that 1% you're by yourself right there when you're doing it. Like this was part of me listening to all this was 66% around people wealthy in mindset that I was able to assets that I was able to grasp on. Brand X, everybody in here, Christian, Ayana, right? So, and then the guys came up to me before, man. And there was a dude in the car, and I go up to him, and he's like, yo, boss, you got some money? And I feel like I get hit up for money more than anybody else. And I don't even dress like I don't have the Lambo man. I don't have any of that stuff, right? So I just have that face where people think, oh, this guy will give me money. So I asked him, well, what do you need money for? And so he said, well, I need to smoke some weed. And so he's like, I need that. So I'm talking to the dude. And then I said to him, he goes, well, dude, if you had my life, you'd do what I do. You'd be in that situation. And I said, no, I wouldn't. And I said, listen, I used to think that. I used to make excuses. I said, but that's how you keep being in there. And he's actually one of my coaching clients now. He actually stock trades. He quit smoking, quit drinking, and everything. Come back, Cam. You'll see him eventually. He doesn't like put his face out, which we're working on his self-esteem right now. So write this down. So if you want something different, you have to do something different. So everybody says, man, I don't have energy. You're gonna have to do some of the stuff in here, and you have to do it daily. It's a discipline. That's the great thing about discipline. You do discipline, you do it daily. You get like I'm doing monthly webinars every month because they're uncomfortable for me. I'm getting good at. We're not gonna sell on this one, all right, Peter? But I sell on them all the time because it's uncomfortable for me to sell. I hate sales. People say, Jeff, you're a natural salesman. No, I hate it. But when I feel so valued that I bring a value, then I'm gonna impact over income, and that's when the income comes. But you got to do something different in life, and it's exactly that simple for everything. When you take notes, you make differences. Like I've already changed up a lot of different things that I've done just recently with everything, and I get a lot done here. What we got in the chat here? I love the chat. I hate just speaking this whole time. Profound. So here. So yeah, and then this is let's go back here. So spiritual. So this is really good. So anybody doesn't know me, actually I had a guy call me. I was all depressed just recently, very similar to Juan's story, getting all anxiety, getting all in my mind. And I had this guy, Dan Gomez. I don't think he's here. He's a motivational speaker. He called me. He sent me a message. I pray out to the Lord. Literally, I'm driving to my real estate unit, and I pray. I'm like, Lord, I don't think anything's going on. And I hear this guy go, hey, the Lord put me on your heart to pray for you, brother. Blah blah blah, and it just spoke to me right in there. So you got to believe in something. I won't coach anybody if they're agnostic or they don't believe anything, because they're more negative. And it's not like I don't believe with anything. I don't care if you're Muslim or anything like that. I feel like the same thing in sales, right? I feel like I found the best thing, and if I don't advocate for it, then I don't care about your life, right? So I meditate, I pray, and I believe and speak things that you want to happen. I teach people to do this. I want everybody to say out loud right now, I forgive myself. A lot of people in life, they can't even accept the Lord or anything because they can't forgive themselves first. So whatever you've done in life, anything we've done, we've all done bad stuff. We're all not perfect, man. You got to say, hey, I forgive myself first, right? And the reason why you want to do that is because it's powerful in the words. This is one thing I do with my clients when I can see and read where they're at, right? Because sometimes people, we just own too much stuff that's just not where it needs to be. And then we'll get back to that. I know that was pretty good there. So then the challenge you want to do, actually, I'm trying to move the chat to see everybody. So this is why, let's go here. So the challenge, I know you guys got it. So I want to act as the world is ending. Oh yeah, so the reason why I put my dad there, my dad always talks about the Lord coming back all the time. It's the rapture 10 times. This whole COVID stuff happens with the mask and the mandatory vaccine and all that, right? And I go home to my dad and I go, Dad, I think it's 10 times. Like, no, it's not. He's come around since then. But like, if you literally act like the Lord's coming back, let's say the Lord comes back tomorrow, all right? Whatever you guys people believe, right? The world's ending. It would make you take more action today. Like it's kind of the same feeling of, if you basically you take every moment on this earth and you would value it. Live like you don't wake up tomorrow. There's a guy that he's coming out on my Make More Money podcast. He's not on this planet anymore. His name's Sam Bakatar. He was really nice to me. He was very encouraging to my journey. I wasn't as close to him as most people. We did an interview, and Omar, the Passionate Few guy, was like, yeah, put it out. So we're going to put it out. It's a little punchy. That's coming out next Sunday. But he didn't wake up. There's something happening in life, and you don't know in life kind of where you're at. And that's another thing that gives me energy, man. Knowing like, this might be the last day people see me, so I'm going to give everything I got here. Like I channel these things all the time myself. This is why I cannot have energy. All right. Like people make fun of it. Like, oh man, you have too much energy or stuff like that. Life, I'm alive. My older brother's not, he died. Like, I feel like a certain part of that I took on, and I'm living my dreams according to that, like you gotta, like, I don't know if anybody's ever been there, but You got to know that. And then, everybody, we always, especially the 10X community, always chasing like $1 million, millions of goal. I believe I'll hit 1 million in 2021, although it looks nothing like it now. I just feel so much, everything I coach, attention, right? I got a lot of attention from many different avenues. I just need more products, really. But what would I rather have? If I could give you $1 million now, would you like it? If I told you you couldn't wake up in the morning? Brad Lee always says this. And if you can't wake up, so why don't you wake up every day like you have $1 million? And then when you wake up, either meditate, pray, do something like that, right? That's something. And also, before you go to bed, this is one thing I do right now. I take these sheets, actually. I don't know if I have them here. And I write down the 3 things I'm going to do tomorrow. And then I plan out my day. Very similar. I ran out of 10X planners, right? But you don't need it. You can just do it. I time block my time, and I circle the 3 most important. I do income activities, and then I put them in my day there, right? Whether it's reaching out, a lot of these things. So cut the negative energy. I know a lot of times in life right now, no matter what, not to get too political about stuff, but, Corona was happening. We had to watch the news. I found myself getting negative because I was watching all the conspiracy theories on the mandated mask. Instagram was feeding me the stories and stuff. I actually did a time audit, and I spent, I think it was like 4 hours and 9 minutes on Instagram or something like that during Corona, when I was sat home and everything like that. And I always thought I was doing research, but it's good to do a time audit for me to see that this was. And then when I circled it, a lot of I wrote down the activities. It was watching news stuff, and that just gets you negative. At the end of the day, if you really believe the Lord's in control, I'm not worried about anything that's going forward there. All right, so recreational. This is huge, especially people ask, Jeff, what do you do for fun, right? So you want to write, I want you guys to write down, you don't have to do this now, you can do it later, but what you guys do for fun. I know a lot of times me hustling and working, I love working, man. I'm never going to retire. I'm just an entrepreneur. I'm born to do this side, right? But I'll travel for fun. I'll travel to do like speaking engagements. This is me and a famous YouTuber named Human in New York, and I had fun. We YouTubed him. I lost the SD card, but picture it never happened. And then podcast. I love doing my Make More Money podcast. I always dreamed of having an interview show, and I just started doing the morning talk show, which I love. But set a 3-month goal with something fun at the end. This is what I do all the time. I'm going to be actually in Vegas just recently with my brother for his business, and then I'm going to be in Beverly Hills with Albert Preciado at a founder. I'm going to be sitting at the founder's table, even though I'm not a CEO. I don't have enough people I'm looking to hire people now. But Vegas, Miami morning show, and then challenge. This is one thing that I also ask you to do to keep your energy level up. You want to plan the fun activities with the 66% of the people who challenge you or inspire you, right? So I'm hanging out with, a lot of these big name people. These are people who challenge and inspire me and put me on stuff, right? And then have fun with your energy people. So pick the people in life for recreational that is fun with you. Yeah. All right. So people are energy. My weakness. This girl here, Mariah. She was actually at the Driven event here. Did you watch a YouTube video with her? She's a great coach. I'm going to bring her on. She's a big fan of me. I actually turned down going to dinner with her to hang out with a billionaire who has a financial thing named Rob Luna. He'll be on my podcast. And this shows you how dedicated I am, guys, because this used to be my weakness. All right. And I'll explain that later on. But she's a great girl. She's one of those Louis Vuitton, Mercedes. She likes all that stuff, man. I hope she's not here, actually. But I'm a big fan of her. She's growth-minded. She tells me how Grant Cardone's her favorite. She might have just been saying it to hook me in. But she has good energy around her, right? To pick the people that have energy around them and be around those type of people. You feed off them, but you gotta be careful of high maintenance energy. I know that from personal experience. All right, so professional, this is huge. And listen, anybody who's working at a job right now, I say this, I hope you're not like your bosses on this, but this is true. This is very true. So many people work at a job that is horrible for their energy levels. I coach people at it, and I tell them to make a plan to quit your job if you're draining your energy right away. We make it end date. That's what we do. I take people out of their 9-to-5 job to making money on their own, 1099, however they do it, right? And I can do it for anybody. But you got to make it dead. But don't tell them you're going to quit your job. Trust me. I watched a video with Dana White saying you can always go back to be a bellhop, right? Dana White said, I go and I quit the teaching job. You know what? I'm done. I all of a sudden find out that to get my real estate investment, I need to keep the job. So I had to go unquit. Do you know how hard it is to go into a job once you quit and unquit? But luckily, because I hooked up with the head teacher, that they didn't want to do anything really bad to me. So it actually all worked out. But anyway, So be positive in every aspect of your life, in your job. So I was around so many negative people. I was literally making kids do millionaire math, showing them Grant Cardone videos, Les Brown's, having all the kids inspired, and they were having better days because I was actually, at that last moment, I was actually giving them the right stuff in there. I was coming out. People would call me a motivational speaker, and I wasn't a teacher. I was making kids write down the cash flow quadrant, all this stuff. There's a video on me, YouTube, doing it right in the middle of the casino, right? And there was so much negativity coming at me. I knew I was in the wrong job, and I had to keep it until the job went through. But then I looked for the positive in any one of those negative person, and I would tell it to them, and it made them feel uncomfortable, but it inspired them. And now some of the people are coming out now a little bit now as they see me start having these successes, right? By the way, I was going through my bank account today. I made like over like 174 something thousand last year, which normally would be good. And then I spent like 210,000, which is what I'm going through all that now. That's what I'm doing on the weekend. That's why I'm not in like, I'm a little edgy more, Peter, than anything else. I'm just being as transparent as possible. But the challenge, so one of the things I say, and there's a great book, I read it like long before anybody else was bragging about it. It's called The Four Agreements. And you don't need to read the book, all right? I mean, you can read it. It's a great book. It's actually a great book to listen to. I think you can find it on YouTube. But write these four down. Be impeccable with your word, right? Your word is so powerful. I'm a little punchy. I know that. I think it's entertaining. That's me. I kind of like it. I could get better. My mission statement is inspire others always, right? This is hanging on my car. This is what I market everywhere you go, right? So I did that more for me than anybody else because I won't do anything. But don't take anything personally, right? Like, let's say you're someone here, you want to be asked to speak at an event and they didn't do it. Don't take it personally. Just keep going forward, you know? Don't make assumptions, right? Oh my goodness, they have me, going first because they hate me. Whatever it is in life, these are like phenomenal. And always do your best in everything in here. Oh, Josh Lewis is coming in actually. So, and then, so this is the secret. The one energy hack. It works every single time. Anytime you guys are tired and low, and I'm gonna give you I'm gonna give everything out. I over deliver as much as I can. The one thing I tell my coaching clients to do is when you have the energy unlocked, and I get it, go record a video of you with energy, because then that lives on. So when you're tired, I get tired, believe it or not. And I'm laying in the car, I send a video with me with energy. People think I got energy all the time. I get tired too. I am human, right? But this is anytime I do get tired, I do this one thing. And this is what this will change your life right here. It's called perspective energy. All right. Perspective gives you energy every time. I'm going to tell 3 stories, then I'm going to tell 1 story after this. This one here is the girl I asked to marry me, the only girl I asked to marry me, Angel Agee. She was a pastor's daughter, and I loved her. And I did everything I did to marry her. I hung around her all the time. I listened to music with her. I stayed in the pool longer when I was homeschooled and we were there. And she was literally like that picture perfect pastor's daughter girl who was just amazing. And the one time I did ask her to marry me, it was most the perfect moment for me. I went in I drove to her library. She was a librarian. She was like the perfect woman, right? Everybody got around this girl. So I have a ring and pocket. I was wearing a Navy suit, which I still have up there because I'll explain in a second. Navy suit, ring and pocket. I was working at a horrible job at the time. I went 90 down the highway, cut off everybody, and they're very dangerous. I was 22, so, and I'm like, I'm going to ask this girl to marry me. She's going to say yes, right? I get all the way there. I go open the door. The door's locked. I'm like, God, what's going on? So I go to get my car. I see a little Acura Integra in the corner, and I hear a girl crying. It was her. She's sobbing. I walk over to the car. We start talking for a little bit. And long story short, she winds up saying something. And I wind up pulling a ring from my pocket. And I said, then marry me. And I give her a dashboard for a proposal. And even as I'm telling the moment right now, it's the perfect moment. But it wasn't the most perfect moment for her. She was already engaged. She's about to be married. And I for me, I thought I could just have one of those movie stories. I was like The Notebook and steal it at the end, right? And it didn't work out. But this picture gives me perspective of, hey, don't wait for the perfect moment. This is why when I read the 10X rule, it made me take action. Because if I like a girl, you shouldn't probably tell them you're going to marry them the first time. I've done that a few times and they get freaked out. That's a good way to stay single. And then this picture right here, this is the picture that you're going to see in a Kokomo J's everywhere. It's going to say my story. It's going to tell me the story. You guys are watching this in the journey of me building up this biggest franchise ever. That's going to be maybe a virtual restaurant at that time to move at the times. And then this was a guy who told me I couldn't play quarterback. I wound up starting, coming back, winning a game. Perspective energy from like certain perspectives. But I'm going to explain it even in a more transcending way. These are personal. You can do it with personal painful moments in your life, which I do, or you can do this. So just see this picture right here? This is someone who's they're doing like a race and a walk around, and they don't have a leg. I'm gonna tell you a story. I was all kind of bummed out, very similar to Juan. Just this is a stretching part in life, right? Someone told me that. They said, Jeff, just like an athlete, you're stretching right now. You don't want to stretch, but you're stretching to go to the next phase. And I feel it. And I'm very blessed right now. I'm really blessed because I was sitting out there. I had my computer here. I'm going to show you this. I had this computer. I'm always marketing all the time, right? It has all my stuff on it. People are asking me questions. And I'm sitting at a restaurant and I see this kid over there and he's wiping down his tables and busting. And he has one arm. All right. He has one arm. And he's working so hard. And here I'm complaining that my tenants won't pay. I have bigger problems. I did exactly what Grant said. I went and got bigger problems. I owe a ton in taxes. These are great problems to have. I have two arms. He has one arm. This is called perspective energy. I go up to him. At the end, I hand him one of my business cards. I don't even know if I have it in here. And I give him $100. I had no money. I went negative in my account, right? It was crazy. And I give him one of my cards. I don't know if I have it in here. And I give him money. And I say, hey, don't ever stop working hard, right? And I say what someone told me once, life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. And he goes, amen, amen. And he's following me on Instagram. I talked to him this moment after, and he likes it, and he follows me now all the time. But that's what, anytime I get mad, I say two arms. I got two arms. And you could always find someone in life who's working harder than you, doing something, and it'll get me up to go to the gym. It'll get me up to do something. I used to say 6 feet under, and I used to, 6 feet above the ground. And I used to think of my brother who's not here anymore. And he had dreams. And we listened to this 3-minute motivational video. I'll share it with you guys. It starts with every passing second, you have a moment to turn your life around. That 3-minute video I listen to anytime. My older brother who's not here anymore, Jay, saved it on his phone. He said, Jeff, I love this video. So I love that video. And it always it hits me really hard. There's a eulogy I gave at Jay's funeral. We're going to release it once on the morning show or something. It was really the most blessed time when I actually found, maybe I don't speak the most clearest or spell the most right or anything, but it's when I found the gift to really through my pain, I found my purpose, right? And then there's a video, the first YouTube video on my channel. If you go all the way down to the first videos in there, you're going to see a Live Your Life You Remember. It was while I was teaching at the behavioral middle school. It's crazy to see how far I've come. While I was teaching at behavioral middle school, I made a video of Jay with him and his Playboy model wife and his kids, and it was to this song. I listened to it, and I literally just cried right at that moment, and then it gets me to keep going and keep going. But that's perspective energy, and this is what I show people to do all the time. You can find it, you can look around and do another thing, but find someone who has less and does more than you. 2 arms versus 1 arm, right? So if anybody, even if you don't have it, have exactly the story. You can take the story I have with you. I'm not getting this thing. So then this is true. So during the Zoom, or every time my video was off, wasn't it because I wasn't listening? I get tired if I sit too long, right? So movement is energy. So anytime you're down, lately I've been paralyzed with fear. I used to be, not so much anymore. But yeah, movement is energy. So you want to get up, you want to move. That's I think from Tony Robbins. He says that. So listen, this is something that we're going to be doing for a lot of my clients in the commitment coaching that we're doing. It's accountability coaching for 6 weeks. Where you're going to create your energy cookie jar. It's really not called the energy cookie jar. I just put energy in it because of the presentation. But I want you to write down a negative memory and write down a positive accomplishment. Example: people used to call me retarded, right? I kind of talk this way and everything. But I started quarterback and won a game in the 4th quarter on a roll-up pass with no time left. Makes you smile, right? Retarded, accomplished a dream. The same people, when I went up there to play for practice, said the same word I heard my whole life, right? You can't be a coach. Never knew a wealthy coach, someone said to me. And then this girl here has a best-selling book on Barnes & Noble, and the client makes $10,000 the same day I did the first high-ticket coaching, and now that's what we're moving into because of everything. And then we're going to be doing a virtual vision energy board. I challenge you guys to do this. I'm going to give you the details on what to do. This is me over-delivering and giving as much as I can to you guys. It's an open invite, 8 p.m. Eastern time. We have an agent training for all our agents on our team that we built. I helped build with my brother, Change Size Financial. That was the first site then. And what you're going to do is you're going to have an image of an accomplishment, right? We branded a name and made a name that's doing pretty well right now. And then you're gonna have an image of the next accomplishment. I want to buy a Lambo and put that logo on it on the side. I want to lease one. I'm going to do it too. Probably a Lambo. I don't know. I'm going to have to test drive. I'm going to get a sports car for attention for it, and I'll let kids who want it drive it around. Like, and then 1 year, 5 year, 10 years. You don't want to take images. You can go on Google, do this. Just download stuff. Start dreaming. Start having a vision, but do it with stuff that energizes you, not just like stuff that doesn't. And then you're going to connect them towards your one. You're going to have your one goal and the vision. We'll go over this and a common goal and a vision. But that's an open invite to anybody here. If you want to stop in to everything, you can. And then where you can find more energy is at YouTube. You see me all the time over there. The Daily Wake Up Wealthy Show, the Make More Money podcast every Sunday. We have that Sam Bakatar. And then there's going to be a new video every Thursday. And sorry if I got emotional in here. That's what fit true. When I talk about energy, that's what fuels my energy. I come right back. Well, and then, another thing that gets me energy. I probably shouldn't drink this, but this is we're in negotiations. I have 3 brand deals. Fansplan.com, Icon Social. There's another person who paid me on Instagram, and these guys, they just reached out to me, and we're trying to negotiate a deal. And that's a true story. I've never even had their stuff, so you're gonna have me taste it. I don't even need energy, but and then DM action there, and I think that's it. That's all I got for you guys. So that was in closing. So thank you very much, Peter, and everybody for putting this on. I hope you found value out of all this. If you want anything I talked about, yeah, here. Go ahead.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely.